The Simpsons have gone too woke and body positivity legend Lizzo is being made fun of by South Park. What a brilliant video this is. Today we're looking at two very different cartoons. They couldn't be any more different. One has their finger on the pulse of society and everything that's happening in the world, and the other, The Simpsons, well, it was a great show for so many years, but as we know, with anything that gets way too big, people start to take control of it who were never in control in the beginning, and they ruin it. Case in point, when they replaced Apu on The Simpsons, because for years he was voiced by a white dude, and that's offensive apparently. But we begin today's video with an amazing appearance from the great and girthy Lizzo.
Guys, my worst fear has been actualized. I've been referenced in a South Park episode. I'm so scared.
I would be terrified too, particularly when you come out with the shit that Lizzo does. Lizzo wants to redefine the body positivity movement. Lizzo celebrated her body and that she gained weight with a bathroom dance party. Lizzo, body positivity queen. Lizzo sued for allegedly fat shaming and sexual harassment. Surely this can't be good for Lizzo. Also, please excuse the echo. I'm currently in Tasmania on the road. I'm doing shows. Come and see me live.
Here we go.
I was telling you, Sheila, these new drugs are pretty amazing. I was feeling so ashamed of myself, watching Randy go out and exercise all the time and not eating as much. But I just don't have the same kind of willpower he has.
Okay, so right here we're talking about the new drugs, the cheat codes to weight loss. Things like Ozempic. Now that is the most popular. It's actually been banned recently here in Australia. You can't sell it anymore unless it is to people with diabetes. Ozempic works very simply. It takes you from being a fat person into someone who looks like a crackhead. That is the scientific process, I'm sure. This drug was developed for people with diabetes and it's been hijacked by the obese community, and now people who make Ozempic and compounding pharmacists and all these people who can create this particular chemical are making a fortune by giving people the magic pill. Something that they can just take and they lose weight rather than having to work hard and do it yourself. You can just fucking inject yourself. Forget a diet, forget hard work. Drugs are the answer, kids. Write that down.
Which of the drugs are you on, Sharon? Ozempic, Mounjaro?
Oh no, I talked to my doctor. He said insurance would only pay for those if I had diabetes.
But if you can't afford them, then how are you managing your weight?
Don't you know, Sheila? Now there's a whole new obesity drug for those of us who can't afford Ozempic and Mounjaro.
Now, we are here waiting with bated breath to see what Lizzo has to do with this particular piece from South Park. I can't wait to find out.
I controlled all my cravings to be thinner with Lizzo.
It's Lizzo.
Fuck.
FDA-approved Lizzo makes you feel good about your weight, and it costs 90% less than Ozempic.
I've lowered my standards and my expectations.
It's Lizzo. In case studies, 70% of patients on Lizzo no longer cared how much they weighed.
I don't give two shits.
It's Lizzo. Lizzo helps you eat everything you want and keep physical activity to a minimum.
I do wonder what Lizzo thinks about this, genuinely. Because yeah, they're taking the piss out of it, but it's also South Park doing that. That's an honor. Surely she'd be able to look on the lighter side of things. Bad choice of words, Isaac.
Some patients report constipation while listening to Lizzo. Stop listening to Lizzo if you experience suicidal thoughts. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis, hypothermia,
Cut the fucking album!
out your ears.
Hey, how dare you interrupt? That's very, very rude. In case you missed that, they said listening to Lizzo may cause pancreatitis, hypothermia, and shitting out your ears. Please do go on South Park.
Are you living with concerns of obesity?
Ask about the power of not giving a fuck with Lizzo.
Not giving a fuck or being a completely lazy fuck is the same difference, I think, in my honest opinion.
I just feel like, damn, I'm really that bitch. I'm really that bitch.
Yeah, you really are that bitch. That bitch who tells people basically that you can just be a big fat fucking slob. Obviously you don't say it in those words, but that's the message that's getting out there, that you don't have to change, even though it will eventually kill you. You can just continue being a big fat fucking slob. Take the easy route. Take the path of least resistance. That's Lizzo's answer.
I really showed the world how to love yourself and not give a fuck.
Nope. You showed the world how to give up. That's it.
Where these men in Colorado,
Ugh, yuck, evil men.
know who the fuck I am and put it on their cartoon that's been around for 25 years.
Madam, can I just ask you calm those anal beads down flicking about behind your head while you're fucking talking to people? Put them away. Put them in the drawer. Put them in the dishwasher. Put them fucking somewhere.
I'm really that bitch, and I'll show y'all how to not give a fuck, and I'm gonna keep on showing you how to not give a fuck. Oh, 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 Lizzo!
Yeah, I'm guessing that's not what they meant by not giving a fuck. There's not giving a fuck as in, hey, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm fucking me, and I'm cool. And then there's the type of person who doesn't give a fuck and doesn't wipe their ass properly. There's two very different types of people who don't give a fuck. The second one is probably people who love Lizzo. And then somehow, ladies and gentlemen, on the same planet, a much more G-rated version of the same planet, The Simpsons. By far my favourite cartoon as a kid. Fantastic show. But unfortunately, like everything else, controlled by dollars and cents and marketing executives who just finished college, it's getting fucking ruined by people who are far too woke. This is an article about Harry Shearer, who voices Mr. Burns, Mr. Skinners, Flanders, Lenny, Kent Brockman, and many others. He has been involved in the show since its inception, and he genuinely believes that it has gone way too woke. He also used to voice Carl and Apu, but that he was replaced because he's far too white. And you know what voice actors can't do? Pretend to be other people. That would be crazy. In saying that, Bart is voiced by a woman, and that's offensive to men. So that should change as well, all right? Just while we're changing things around, that should change too. This is talking about Shearer. Also, he was replaced as the voice of Springfield physician Dr. Hibbert as well. Producers of the show vowed in 2020 to no longer have white actors voice characters of colour. How lovely. But it is just a voice. It's just a sound, and voice actors can make sounds, and I don't think it's really hurting anyone. The Simpsons producers announced in 2020 that the characters of colour on the long-running animated sitcom would only be voiced by actors of colour from now on. Now, I don't have a problem with that for new characters, but why change what's already there? It's not broken, it's not hurting anyone, and if you genuinely believe that that hurts people, then you have no concept of the real world at all, do you? They've been there for 30 plus years. Who gives a shit? Prior to the announcement, the show had been subject to heavy criticism from fucking who? For having white actors like Azaria play characters like the Indian store owner Apu. He stepped away from voicing the character in January 2020 and admitted that his voice role helped create a dehumanizing stereotype. Really? I learned a lot about Indian culture from Apu, so fucking... I don't know what to tell you there, mate. And I doubt he actually believes that he was involved in dehumanizing the Indian population. I think that was perhaps a statement written by other people for him to give the world. That's just my opinion, though. I'll also say this. It was a very accurate representation of what Indian men sound like. In the same vein, Ned Flanders, he sounds like a lot of God-fearing Christian men. So is there really an issue here? Or is he just being a really good voice actor and people are upset by that? The Simpsons creator even came out in 2021 and says it wasn't his idea to do this, to stop white actors from voicing characters of colour, but I'm fine with it, Matt Groening said. Who can be against diversity? So it's great. And I think diversity is fantastic, but should it be forced? No. Just put the new characters in. Just make new characters and have them voiced by people who look like them if it's so fucking important. Because the problem is, you will never make these people happy. And it's not the Indian people complaining. It's not anyone of colour complaining. It's always young, annoying as fuck, white people who are complaining. That's the people who have problems with these types of things. It's always the fucking white college students that people listen to for some outrageous reason. Don't listen to these fucking idiots. Why? Because they're fucking idiots. The Simpsons will wrap up its 35th season on May 19th. And Shearer, he's been there almost since the beginning. He's going to get pushed out. All of these original cast members will get pushed out and the whole show will be taken over by a new lot of people trying to teach the world about their politics and their beliefs, and it'll ruin the show. Like it has done for everything else. The Simpsons are going woke, They won't go broke because they're worth a fucking fortune, but it's gonna hurt them. It might not ruin them financially, but it'll ruin their legacy. The Simpsons have gained so much momentum that even the people who created it have no control anymore. It's a giant boulder running down a hill, and it is taking everything out in its way. If only they could be more like South Park. That would be amazing. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I'll be back in the studio for the next video, so thank you for sticking with me with all of these echoes. I'm in a lovely Airbnb. I think it's almost 170 years old. And that's why there's so much echo. Echo. I apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace and Middle East. Be dicks. Thanks to